Welcome to my channel, Comic Book Noise, as we talk about my comic book company, Digital Noise, as we explain the characters and the storylines of the Digital Noise universe. Well, I'm talking about the film The Crow that just came out, I guess, this weekend. As I'm doing this video now, I just saw it this past Friday. And The Crow is starred by, hold up a minute, it's Bill Skarsgård, Twigs, Danny Houston, Isabella Wai, Laura Bryn, but the main star is Bill Skarsgård and Twigs. And the film is directed by, hold on one second, Rupert Sanders. And so when I didn't hear of The Crow that much. I didn't see any things that much on The Crow. It came by surprise when they showed the previews. When I saw the preview on television, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I was like, wow, I didn't know The Crow was coming out. We were seeing some good movies back to back already. And, I saw Alien Romulus, and what was the other film that I saw before that I can't think of it right now, but it was a good film. But we passed Friday, we saw The Crow. And it was like, okay, let's see what it looks like. When I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, it looks pretty good. Now, I've also seen the original Crow. And so I enjoyed that as well with Brandon Lee in the 1990s. So I wanted to see the new remake of it. And then when it came, I think around Wednesday or Monday of that week when the film was supposed to premiere on that Thursday, I guess, I just started seeing some reviews that were really bad about it. I'm like, wow, okay, is it that bad? And it had like a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. And so I was kind of hesitant to go see the movie, but it's like, you know what, I've seen movies where the critics hate a movie and I absolutely love the film the movie. So I said, well, let me just check this out. This will be no different, it'll just be a nice time out with me and my poo, and we just go see the movie and just enjoy ourselves. So we went that Friday with not any real big expectations. And I loved this film. I thought it was a great direction. The visuals were amazing. The fight scenes were choreographed and original and amazing. The lead actor, Bill Skarsgård, I felt he was perfect for the role. He had definitely that leading man quality that was modern, hip, and he also had that quirky, strange, mysterious thing that was needed to be added to the character. So I thought he was perfect for the film, especially at a young age where, the franchise could live longer, hopefully, with this film. I thought Twigs was the perfect casting for his love interest. She was just, it's like on a different level. And because the movie, The Old Crow, is gothic, I thought this movie was more gothic, proved to be more gothic than the prior film of the 1990s. And so she was cast because I think in the other prior film, his love interest wasn't even that focused on. And so you didn't really get the real crux of why he felt the way he felt for this person he had love with or whatever. And you really didn't dwell too much into her character. And so with the Twigs character, I thought she was perfectly casted, and the character that Twig plays, when she plays Shelley Webster, I thought it was very interesting because I thought her character was more thought out, more fleshed out than the character from the 1990s. And you see a more introspective of why he had more motivation of doing what he was doing, and everything. And it was sort of had an artsy feel to it, more so than the original Crow. The Crow was interesting and things like that, and I loved The Crow then, but I like the way they represented The Crow now. The action scenes of it was amazing. The villain, oh God, Danny Houston, he played Vincent in the character. I'm looking at it, I'm trying to get the names right and make sure everything's on point and correct. He was simply amazing in the film as a villain. He always plays good, bad, evil characters, and this was no exception. So I thought it was dark, it was cool, it was different, and I didn't understand the reason why the Rotten Tomato gave it such a low score. There was so many low scores that should have been given to many other movies I thought they gave high scores to. But if you look now, like if you see the audience score, you'll see a much higher score than what the critics at Rotten Tomatoes gave. Myself included, it was like one of the better films of this year as far as action films. And to me, without giving any spoilers to it if you haven't seen it, it had so much action in it, especially during the latter part. The first part of it is a little slow, but you have to build up to know the character. And so it had a lot of elements which the comic book had. It had, I won't say anything about it. It had, the graphic novel had, within the pages of The Crow, the same, I guess, motivations and backgrounds of the history of The Crow. And so I thought that was even more fleshed out than the original. And the action scenes were just superb to me. I thought they were amazing. They were awesome. I thought his motivation was there. I thought that was very clear of why the Crow became the Crow. It was very clear why he loved Shelley Webster so much in the film, and I just thought he embodied the character, and he was the perfect actor to embody this character, because this guy, again, like I said, he has the leading male lead presence, but also with a strange and quirkiness that the character needed for that type of charismatic performance that he could bring to the character. So it's, to me, I thought a lot of elements were perfect. It was just goth enough, I felt, for the film. It had this gothic edge to it that's modern and vibrant and new. And the action scenes were just, to me, amazing. To me, if you like the action in Deadpool and Wolverine, you'll like the action in, I don't know why you wouldn't like the action in The Crow. Especially the opera scene. That's all I gotta say. The opera scene was just, wow. That fight scene was amazing. I love it. I love it. And I don't know why it's getting so much hate. It's not the worst movie in the world. Even if you have a difference of opinion, I don't see how you could say it's like the worst movie. I think a lot of people that are complaining about this film initially are people that don't like to see change. They don't like to see difference. They don't like to see something updated and new. I think innately people hate change and they want to keep the status quo, so that means things stay mediocre. If things stay the same constantly every time, it will become mediocre. It'll become the grossly norm. It will, if you don't elevate and change. It's just like when the first movie Godfather came out. now you see it as a masterpiece, but back then when the movie Godfather came out, they was talking about how it was trash, how it was over self-indulgent, it was just a ridiculous movie, as well as the apocalypse. They said it was ridiculous and stupid. Like anything that was new and on edge, or anything that's coming of new age, or something that's new and different, out of the norm, they deem it as a bad thing. So I think a lot of these, especially critics and older bloggers, want to reminisce and keep The Crow back that was in the 90s as it is, and they don't want to see anything new and different from a franchise that has their old childhood or youth. It's sort of like losing their youth, I think. I think they hate losing their youth in a new, vibrant film that they once loved and that represented their youth back then in the 1990s. And so I think that's what is wrong. I think a lot of people, because a lot of these people that are complaining about the film are older people that don't understand that these franchises need to come up into modern day times. They need to reinvent themselves to keep making money, to keep the franchise alive. And I think these old bloggers are still holding on to old memories and not accepting new challenges and new visions and new direction. And I think that's the way people are. Me, I'm a different breed. I'm of that age from the 90s that saw the Crow film, but I always saw things new, different, and inventive, and looking forward and progressing and not looking back at history, and keep moving forward and see what new directions we can take, what new visions we can do. How can we level this up to another level in a new generation? So I guess I'm a different breed from that. And now, to me, I saw The Crow and I thought it was a perfect start of a rebirth of a franchise. And also the character too reminds me of one of my characters that I created, and it's on the Positive Moment for my comic company Digital Noise. And from the Positive Moment, there's a member actually called Goth, and he reminds me, the character itself, this new rendition reminds me of The Crow unintentionally. And so if you look back at my character, you'll understand why they're totally different, but there are a lot of similarities of this new representation of The Crow. For me, I absolutely love The Crow. It was an amazing and fascinating film. I hope and pray that they come out with a whole trilogy of this aspect of this new rendition of The Crow. Yeah, for me, I would say if you have an inkling to see a film and you just read some bad reviews on it, or from, I guess, Rotten Tomatoes or any other critic, which art is subjective to each person, so I don't follow religiously to anyone's critiques. I have to experience it for myself if I'm inclined to see a film or do something. So my experience has been that, yeah, there have been critics that bash the film or whatever, but I go see the film, I love it. And so I'm not this dog pile, or one person says they hate it, I'm gonna hate it too because they said they hate it. I'm never a groupthink person. So I would advise you to go see this film for yourself if you had a strong inkling to see the film, and just experience it for yourself. You don't have one life to live. It shouldn't be dictated by someone else's opinion. So if you have an inkling to see a film, you see the film. I know the critics, Rotten Tomatoes or professional critics hate it. Me personally, I love it. I know what it is to be a filmmaker and writer because I write and filmmake myself. My film Sketchy is the first film that I produced, and I'm going to produce more. So So take that. So like I said again, I love the film The Crow, and if you see it, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have seen it, if you enjoyed it or not, please comment. Let me know what you think. Again, this is just my opinion. You have yours. We can all be cool about it. Everybody has their different aspects to what they like and don't like, or whatever. And I'm just giving my opinion on this film, and I loved it. And I've been looking at action, fantasy, drama films since I was a little kid. So, but anyway, please like, subscribe, share this channel, and be safe, be happy, and take care.